J. Thomas, your host. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today's Purely Positive person, well, this week's Purely Positive person, is a CEO. She's also a farmer, and she's a maker of environmentally friendly products. Please help us welcome to the show Diana Washington, Lady Essentials. How are you doing today?
I'm awesome. Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. Very welcome. Now, environmentally friendly. First of all, that's a lot to say. But what was it that made you decide to make environmentally friendly products?
Well, I've actually been mixing things together since I was a little girl.
Oh, really?
I can refer all the way back to high school when I was mixing lotions, but it was the toxic stuff. So fast forward, I have 3 little girls. Mm-hmm. Somehow all the men in my family don't have eczema, but all the women do. Ah. And my girls would scratch until they bled.
Wow.
No steroid cream, no cortisone, nothing worked. It all burned or discolored their skin. Mm-hmm. So I kind of went out on a crest to just start looking into what's on the back, what's the ingredients in the stuff. Okay. Turning a bottle around. And some of the stuff I came across was a little bit unsettling, down to changing your hormone secretions and certain things having parabens and changing your vital signs. So you mean to tell me you can put on a lotion that can change, that can alter your vital signs?
Wow. That
was it for me.
That's fairly deep. Okay. So I know. What are the products that you make?
So my staple items, especially for the summer, I really push the scrubs and the oils. Because here's the thing. I can mail butter anywhere, but if your mail carrier lives in a place like Georgia and it's hot,
melt,
and it's in her carrier, you might get not a whipped butter. It'll still be a butter. You can still refrigerate it, still use it, but it won't be whipped.
Gotcha.
And I have people all the time call me and say, hey, I don't think I got the right thing. And I'm like, okay, your mail carrier didn't have AC. It was hot. I'll mail you out another one. So I make whipped body butters. I make a beard and body butter for men.
Okay.
A natural deodorant, which is so major. Because the store-bought stuff, it stops you from sweating, which is the opposite of what your body is made to do.
That holds toxins in.
So if you've been wearing store-bought deodorant for 30, 40, 50 years, sometimes your body has said enough. Some people have never detoxed or exfoliated their underarm, and your underarm is just screaming out, help me, help me. But the antiperspirant part of the deodorant has aluminum, and the aluminum, unfortunately, goes to your brain. Your brain can't metabolize aluminum, so it builds up, and that actually contributes towards early onset Alzheimer's and dementia, even behavioral problems. It's linked to birth defects. I came across a case study where 98% of the biopsies that they took from women who had breast cancer tissue removed, all those toxic ingredients in deodorant were in those breast tissues.
That's why they tell you don't wear deodorant when you go for a mammogram.
This is serious, and for Infinity, it really boils down to, if you can't almost eat it, you shouldn't put it on your skin, because your skin's your biggest organ. Everything you put on it is absorbed within 26 seconds. So we have after shower moisturizing oil, which is awesome.
It is.
In the summertime, if you don't want to put on a thick butter and have that heavy filling, if you do a good exfoliating in the tub and do your shower oil, you moisturize, you smell amazing. You're good to go.
I have to attest to that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It is. Whew, that's all I can say.
But we make everything, because unfortunately I work in healthcare where they pay us to wash our hands. But the toxic chemicals in the hand wash and the sanitizer, they kind of contradict. They dry your hands out. And if your hands are dry and cracked, there's so many nurses including myself, our hands are raw by the end of the night from washing and sanitizing. And I try to keep my little homemade hand sanitizer and soap on me because it's vicious and people are watching. They have senses, you know.
Right.
You'll lose points for that. People lose their jobs when people are not hand washing. So it's I gotta retire soon from my 9-to-5 job because
you want to do this
Yeah.
full time.
absolutely.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I am all for that.
So we have body butters. I'm into soap now. I wanted to wait until my youngest child got into school because when you're dealing with soaps, you're dealing with lye and you're dealing with a whole nother safety thing.
Right.
So everybody's in school now. So when the summertime, when they either go to their my moms or their dads, I make soap. So we have deodorant, body butter, scrub, after shower oil, bath bombs, hand sanitizer, bug spray.
Oh, wait. You have bug spray?
Yes, we have bug spray.
I need some of that.
What we're working on now is a sunscreen because what people don't realize is when you buy sunscreen in the store, a lot of the stuff that you're trying to protect yourself from is more toxic in that cream. So people don't realize something like raspberry seed and carrot seed oil have a natural SPF of 30 to 40, up to 40, depending on what company and the purity of the oil. So if you formulate in, you know, a shea butter who has a SPF up to 10, a coconut oil up to 10, if you could formulate those oils, you could do a natural sunscreen that doesn't have the toxic stuff in it, that won't put the same free radicals on your skin that you're trying to protect yourself from. And you can have an SPF of about 60 or 70 naturally. So that's our next thing we're working on.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah. I'm having everybody ask me about the sunscreen
I
because
can't wait for that.
it's real. The sun, that is,
Especially in Georgia.
yes, yes,
It's hot.
it's hot.
Wow. You're blowing my mind with all this stuff.
My mind is blown. Sometimes I come across research and it's that simple, finding it, because it's
Right.
not just sitting there.
Right. You got to dig for it.
You got to dig for it.
Wow. Wow. Now, I'm inquisitive.
Okay.
I see you have a bag over there.
Do so. I bought a few things. First and foremost, Infinity Essential. This is the staple of us paying it forward. We're working on our nonprofit, but we're also doing small container farming right now.
Okay.
So we stay all the way out in rural area.
Right.
And this is called Leaf of Life.
Okay.
It's such a medicinal plant. And the concept, if you can see the leaves, when it matures, there will be 8 seed pods around the leaf.
Oh.
All you have to do, you see how I laid this leaf here?
Inside,
That's a fully
right.
grown. I just put it on top of dirt. It will generate 8 new plants.
Oh.
So you pay it forward. So our whole concept of money raising and rebranding and doing everything we need to do is so that when you order, I can send you a vacuum sealed leaf and
then
you
can make your
automatically
own plant.
medicine cabinet. So a little bit about this plant.
Okay.
Where do I start?
Somewhere.
Okay, so it's very good for respiratory issues, bronchitis,
Asthma?
coughs, asthma, any
Okay.
respiratory issues. It is also good in wound healing. It can stop bleeding,
Oh.
pain. I think we were having a conversation the other day. So when I just went back to a reference check, because I knew I would be bringing you one, when I saw the stop bleed, when I saw certain conversations we were having, I said, wait a minute. But this thing is awesome. You can make tea with it. You can make a salve with it. It is also an electric plant. So I haven't been able to find all the information on it, but I seen a guy do a lecture on this plant, and he broke down that the seed pods actually have melanin in them. So we're connected to this plant in a whole nother way.
Yeah. Yeah.
My family is from Kingston, Jamaica, on my dad's side.
Oh.
So the Jamaicans all have this in their garden. This is a staple that, to them, it's just like, you know, growing roses. This is what you want to have. And you don't have to do anything. When you grow it, the leaves fall off on themselves, and when they hit the ground, they generate a new plate.
Plant.
So,
Oh, thank you so much. I'm not good with plants.
leaf
but that's
of
good to
life,
know.
you can sit it on your windowsill,
Right in the kitchen. where
right
it can
in the
get
kitchen.
sunlight.
Yep.
Nice. Oh, I'm so excited about that. Okay.
Also, bath bombs.
That's huge.
It is. So here's the thing with the bath bombs. The fresher they are, the better. So when
Right.
people order bath bombs, I let them know, okay, your order is going to take 7 days, because these bath bombs, I'm going to make them, and then they have to do what they do once they sit, and then I'll ship them. If I make vast quantities of bath bombs, they're going to sit, they're going to pull all the moisture out of the air, and by the time you get it, it will be soft. And that's what happened to this one, but it's still good. So this baby is packed with shea butter, coconut oil. It has tea tree oil in it, so it's really good for women's pH balance in their vagina. Some people get uncomfortable when I say that, but it's a part of our body, and it's important.
Right.
On top of, there's so many things that are in our skin that through our waste is being secreted into the environment, and it's affecting the wildlife. So even though we have a conscious decision on what we want to put on our skin, the line has to be drawn where the animals who are living in nature don't have a choice, because your toxic waste that's coming out of your body is
polluting the atmosphere.
Is polluting the atmosphere.
Oh, we.
So that's a lemongrass.
This is lemon. I love the way lemongrass
Yes,
smells.
it has Epsom salt, so it's good for just relaxing your muscles.
I'll be using this evening.
Yep, a good detox.
I sure will. Put all my little stuff over here. Okay.
This is the natural deodorant, which I think I already gave you.
Yes, you
right?
did, but I'm happy to get
So, and this is a different scent. I think I gave you last time lavender. This is mango.
Oh, I might have to fight about that.
This one is really good.
My husband loves mango.
I went to Chicago and I did a pop-up shop. I've been for my best friend, and one of the ladies came to the table, and my godmother, and she put emphasis on, if you don't make anything else and you just had a deodorant company, you're gonna go far, because just the breast cancer, the Alzheimer's, a lot of women don't know, when you're with child, you're hot, you're sweating more, you're trying to lather on more deodorant.
That's the last thing you should be doing.
That stuff in the store that you're wearing is linked to birth defects.
True.
This is factual case study, scientific evidence that it's toxic.
I can't wait. Oh, I'm going to have to fight over this. I already know it. Because the deodorant works. Yeah. It works. I know. I have it on.
And you know what? I tell people all the time, some people are afraid to detox their body, or some people are under that impression. I'll say, try my deodorant. Even if it doesn't work for you, give it a chance, or put it on maybe if you're just going to be relaxing at home. Put it on maybe if you're going to the gym, because it's going to still allow you to sweat, but not smell so, aggressive. But you want to detox. So if you use something natural, one less use of your toxic store-bought deodorant can decrease your chances of breast cancer by 33%.
Wow.
So us farming, starting a non-for-profit, everything we're trying to do ties into not just selling you a product, finding out 5-10 years from now how it's affecting you. You know, looking into those people who come out and say, hey, I tried that, it broke me out, it didn't work for me, maybe I'm allergic to this.
Right.
You know, so if we're growing our own stuff, we know what's in it.
Exactly. And I'm a firm believer in that. I grew up in the South. We had a garden. So every year, we're out there picking all the fruits and vegetables and stuff. And so that's my thing. I just don't have a green thumb, but you do. So I'm good. Okay,
Lip balm.
Oh, Ooh, lip balm. I need some of this. Oh my goodness. I have gifts today.
And
You
this is a
people are
soap.
missing out. I'm just saying.
So this is a turmeric soap.
I can tell by the color. Sure.
Turmeric is anti-inflammatory, micro, bacterial, all the good stuff.
It sure is.
So this has ground flaxseed.
Oh.
It has lavender essential oil in it.
Okay.
And the soap base is shea butter, coconut oil,
Okay.
aloe vera,
Yes.
and cucumber.
Oh.
So all cool. And this is my favorite soap right now that I'm using at home. Yes.
Wow. I can't wait. I have to decide bath bomb now. Okay, I have to decide. And a loofah.
Yes, because I found that it gets really creamy and velvety with the loofah. With the rag,
not so much.
First of all, it turns it yellow. And people are like, wait a minute, my rag is, because turmeric is the thing that makes curry yellow.
I know.
So whatever it touches, it's going to be yellow. So this is perfect because it won't dye the loofah.
Wow. Oh, I can't wait. So I got a new loofah. Okay. All right. I'm so excited. Thank you.
You're
oh my
welcome.
goodness. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
And I do want you all to know I use her whipped body butter. I use her shower oil, and I use her deodorant, and I do want you to know they all work. They smell amazing and they work. But that's all I can say. That's all I can say.
Awesome. That's what we want them to do.
Yeah. Purchase, please, please, please.
And environmentally friendly.
Exactly. And that's the thing that's so important about it, because all of this stuff that I'm using, I'm helping not only myself, but I'm also helping the environment, which means I'm helping everybody else too. And that's why it's so important for you to be here today and to talk to us about what you're doing. Now, tell me about this farm, because I know that that's what you want to do. Tell me what your plans are.
Man, so it's like one of those things. You start making a natural product, you start doing even more research, and once you become consciously aware of what you're putting on your skin and what you're putting in your body, you become more conscious of the environment. So just digging and digging and digging, I'm coming across all this information where people have access to land, but they don't know about it. If you're willing to farm on land, there's 7 states right now that will give you free land if you're willing to farm and build. So a farm is the center staple of any community.
Right.
It's the grassroots. So we started, I'm renting a home right now. I just started a small container garden on my back sun porch, and it is just skyrocketed. I'm like constantly giving people away boxes. Hey, you own your home, you have a backyard, put this in the ground. So we had 2 watermelon patches, a cantaloupe patch, honeydew, a blueberry bush, 3 lemon trees. I didn't have time, but I could have bought you a lemon tree to sit on your window. I have 5 of them, which organic fresh lemon in your house, being able to pick it. Now it takes time to establish, but in the time frame that it passed, you have something in your house where you can make alkaline water, you can have lemon tea, you can clean it for, imagine not having to pay for lemons.
Right, because lemons at Publix are expensive. For 2 lemons, you pay almost $2.
Or knowing that your lemons didn't come from Brazil and, what it had to go through to get here.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So we started farming, and I think we went in over a little bit. That's why I have been giving stuff away, because stuff is growing. Yeah. We have like 36 pepper plants.
Really?
When I got these leaves, when you give one away, they come back, they multiply for some reason. Because one week I had 8 plants. I gave a nurse one. 2 weeks later, I had 3 more new plants. So I have 10 of these plants at home. My kids are like, Mom, you're crazy. That's going to be like 32 plants of just that.
Wow.
We have
You're going to need a bigger place.
We have a mango tree. We're growing kale. We're growing spinach, carrots, asparagus, radish, potatoes.
So I should come over.
Yes. Anyone can come and visit. You'll see our Welcome to Infinity Farm sign. We're kicking this thing off, and we're doing it 1 seed at a time. That's it. You plant a seed, and you water it, it will grow.
It will.
Yeah.
Wow. I am so impressed.
Thank
I
you.
am so impressed because we live in a society where they want everything like this. And unfortunately, when you're planting seeds, like you say, you water it, it grows. That's a process. It takes time. So it's not quick, you know, but they put stuff on our food to make it grow faster. And then they wonder why people are so much bigger than they used to be. Duh. It's common sense. You consume it, it's going to be in you.
If it's not breaking down, it's not natural. I had an apple one time at work someone gave me, and I put the apple in my locker and I forgot about it. The apple was in there for about a month. When I went back, that apple had not decayed, broken down.
Wow.
It was the same way. And you know, growing up, when you want to ripen a fruit, you sit in the shade. The apple hadn't broken down, and I'm thinking to myself, what is this apple made of? I don't want to eat it.
Right.
You know, a apple with the shelf life.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
That's kind of scary.
It's very scary.
So I have these little people growing up around me, my seeds.
Right.
And they're growing, and everything I'm seeing with processed food, sugar, even the fruit in the store, you know. So why not grow our own stuff? Or why not grow our own herbs and plants to go in our oils instead of buying them from the wholesaler I'm buying from? Why not grow it myself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm coming over.
Okay.
I don't know when. I'm coming over. I am excited that not only that you're doing this, but yet that you're telling other people about it. Because most of the time people say, oh, well, nobody's interested in this. You're exactly the opposite. You want everybody to know.
Pay it forward.
Exactly.
Knowledge is power. We're going after it all. Economic power, you know, teaching our kids real history, how to cook real whole food. So just challenging ourselves. We went 5 whole months with no butter.
Really?
We got rid of white salt, so we only do pink Himalayan salt. For anyone who doesn't know, pink Himalayan salt is one of the purest forms of salt that you can find on the planet because it's encaved in the Himalayan mountains. It hasn't been touched by pollution and ocean and the environment. On top of it has 84 trace minerals. So working in healthcare, you see a lot of people suffering from high blood pressure and different things. I even talked to a lady in a grocery store who I was breaking down the salt to her. And she was telling me, no, my doctor wants me to have this salt because I have thyroid and I need the iodine. So I said, well, I could find you a list of foods that are natural in iodine, but what your doctor may not be going into depth with you, that table salt that you're getting for 67 cents is going to do so much other stuff to your body.
You're gonna be back
your
at the doctor's
thyroid
office.
won't really even be an issue. And it was like, it was so dead set on that, what they're, you know, when a doctor comes in and they tell you something, people don't ask questions. People don't get a second opinion. They don't go further. They don't do research. It's just whatever this person tell me, this is it. So I tell people all the time, man, everything I'm telling you and showing you, you can research for yourself. It, you know, it didn't just fall out of the sky. Some stuff I see one year, I may watch a documentary or a lecture, and the person may came back and say, hey, I found new information that wasn't accurate. And some people are afraid to come out and say, you know what, that was misinformation. Here's the new information. Here's the new scientific evidence. Because unfortunately, the lack of knowledge that we have and people not wanting to take the time to relearn, it really is deteriorating our planet and our quality of life. And if you think about it, if we're not getting back into agriculture and farming, all the wasted land, because not only are we losing farmland, all the traditional farmers are aging. They're passing away. They don't have anyone to pass this, you know. And this is the staple. You're talking about feeding the world. So our first order when school starts back, we're kicking off a Farming is Cool program.
Hot dog.
living out in rural area, my kids are going to school where farming is the norm. They stay on 100 acres, grass-fed cow, which I'm cooking mostly vegan meals right now. But if I can emphasize anyone that is dead set on, I have to eat meat, I have to have my protein, make sure it's grass-fed.
Exactly.
Because here's the thing. If you're eating packaged meat that's in the store, 9 times out of 10, it's in a still factory and they're feeding those cows corn or whatever it is to beef them up.
Right.
The cow's 5 stomachs are not made to break down corn.
Right.
It's only made to eat grass and drink water. Even we're so attached to dairy, we're so attached to sugar, we're so attached to meat. We're the only species that continues to drink milk throughout our entire life.
Right.
Nature shows us that the meat we eat, they only eat plants.
Right.
They only drink milk up in past infancy. That's it.
Yeah, we don't eat tigers and tigers eat meat.
Babies tend to poop more than adults. So even if you're not breastfeeding your child and you're giving them formula, which more than likely is cow milk, it does have some mucus in it. But babies poop all the time to get it out. But if you're an adult and you're drinking milk all the time, 9 times out of 10, you got mucus built up in your body. You got all the, whatever they gave that cow, whatever antibiotics, that's what you have. And actually, a cow can't survive that long eating corn.
Well, so I read something years ago, and it was talking about how corn tastes good, but the body wasn't made to process corn. The human body was not made to processed corn. And at first I was like, this is crazy.
It'll be really good for fuel.
Right.
There's certain things it is, but consumption is not. It just tastes good.
Yeah, it does taste good. It's pretty because it's yellow. But anyway.
Even soy, you had a whole influx of vegans who were they were getting cancer and they couldn't figure out why.
Soy.
Well, soy was created for like car parts, like, non-edible stuff. And then, we always figure out a way to eat something.
True.
Inedible stuff that we shouldn't be eating.
Right.
So, you have it. You're like, wait a minute, I'm not eating meat. I'm not eating this. I'm only vegan. How is it, I'm developing some of this stuff is unedible.
Yeah. We have to get to a point where we realize that the things we consume, if they aren't natural, they're going to cause damage. And the sooner we realize that as a society, as a people, as a race, the better off we'll be. And that's why your farming and what you're doing is so important, because you're bringing people back to that so that they realize, okay, I can have what I want, but I need to be more careful about it. I need to make sure it's natural, and that in and of itself is a great thing. Thank you for giving back.
Absolutely.
Thank you for giving back. Now, you're trying to start a nonprofit. I know that. But in lieu of that, if someone wants to get involved with what you're doing, how can they do that?
So a portion of the products are going to go into the non-for-profit too. Okay. That's how we're generating our money to do what we're going to do through the nonprofit. But of course, we're in the grassroots stages.
Right.
So we need money for filing for the 501(c)(3) so we can get grants. We need money for seeds because when we kick off the back to school thing for the farming, if we go out and see 100 kids and 1 kid is interested in agriculture or farming, and this is what we want to bring to the kids is, farming is cool now.
Right.
You have technology. You don't have to take it to the point where it's chemical. Right. But, I'm seeing now where they have kids where their parents are like, did you water such and such? And on your smartphone, now the sprinkler's going to come on in a greenhouse. So if we can get 1 kid out of 100 to say, okay, I want to be a farmer. I'm interested in farming or engineering. Then we can get that kid signed up for the 4-H program, which is an agricultural state program that will groom that child. They'll go through school for agriculture, engineering, and we really want to go to the inner cities because a lot of these kids stay in one place.
That's right.
And
No
what
grass,
you see and what you're around, you think that's it, but just something sparked in you.
Right.
Once your brain changes, once your mental takes it in, and you know, sky's the limit.
Wow. I think about when you mentioned 4-H, that brought back memories of my brother doing agriculture in high school, and he was on that. He really needs to get back to it. But that is something that we can work on together. Now, you mentioned that you need money for this, that, and the other. So if someone wants to sponsor you, how would they be able to get in touch with you to do that?
So I have PayPal.
Mm-hmm.
We have Cash App. I actually have a funding pool running right now through my PayPal, and it gives you a breakdown of the companies and what it is that we're doing. But you can always donate through them. You can reach me anytime at infinityessentials@outlook.com.
Okay.
And you can hit me up on Etsy.com at Infinity Essentials. No spaces. So yeah, you just check out what we got going on. You can see the pictures of our farm, and you know, my girls watering plants and taking our containers out, position them in the sun, bringing them back. And it's cool because our sunroom, as the sun goes down, is certain parts where it's coming through just fine. So our younger plants that are maybe not ready to be out in full sun, we can just position them just right as the sun goes down, and everything is just boom, it's just taking off.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is pretty amazing. And you got the kids already involved, so they're going to grow up with this, and they're not going to lose that.
I'm learning too. I'm so afraid. I'm scared of worms. I can't say I'm scared of worms, but
You just have a dislike for them.
But my girls are so good. They went out and turned over rocks, and they found us worms. We have a compost going right now.
Okay.
So all of our fruits and vegetables and our flowers we cut from the yard, we cut it up and put it in that compost with the worms, and we just keep turning it. Just keep turning it. So yeah.
And that's great fertilizer.
Yep.
Just keep turning it right over. I am so awed by what you're doing, and that's really all I can say. I'm happy to know that I'm going to be a part of it, and I'm so glad that you came to see us today.
Awesome. Me too.
Thank you for the gifts. I'm so excited.
Thanks for having me.
You are more than welcome. And thank you all so much for joining us today on Purely Positive. Be sure to check out Infinity Essentials.
Check us out, y'all.
And please join us next week when we will have another Purely Positive person. And remember, positivity is a choice, and I'll be talking with you soon.